Do a little time warp to freeze the physics. Bit cheaty. You can get a mod to prevent that. But it's necessary for fixing other kind of physics glitches. Looking real good here. Actually backlit like this. Very nice. Power's climbing. Good. All of our experiments. You should be... Oh, you still have data. Send. I tried to do that. Did you cancel out weirdly? Non-electric charge. Is this... Oh, it aborts completely. Oh, so I have to wait for the power to charge completely before we do this. Okay. I don't think fast forwarding helps with the electric charge. I guess it does. Okay. Let it go up to, I don't know, 50? That should be more than enough overkill. Okay. There we go. Transmit that. Or is it really? I need like 100? Oh, there's a lot of data there. I guess we're sending them some like uncompressed bitmaps of the lunar surface. So fair enough. All right, let's time warp a little bit more aggressively. I'm just hoping to get another telescope thing before we leave. There we go. Did I not just send that? Now I'm really confused. Right, that's what I gotta remember. Fast forwarding doesn't increase the rate at which science gets sent, but it does, you know, trigger the faster recharge effectively. So you can balance it by fast forwarding while it's sending, and then it sort of works out okay. All right, now you don't have anything left. Good. I don't know why you had 2 in the queue. I can say that, but there's no science to transmit, right? No, 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 cancel. Stop, stop. You're wasting science. You did that wrong. I think we just lost a little bit of something, something. All right. But overall, we've got our science. Okay. We can't EVA, so we can't collect the science from there. So all we do at this point is wait until we escape the moon. Okay. Nope. I am a lot higher than I thought. So when do we reach the apoapsis? 11 days. We have supplies for a year. We've got a fair amount of delta V, but I should play it safe and burn retro at apoapsis. Shouldn't I? I mean, what I could do is burn... Well, actually, I could burn now, which will put my parry over here like that. I wish I could plan a maneuver, so I know if I've got enough delta V. Since I have a year's worth of supplies, a year's worth of noms, we're going to play it super safe. Actually, before I do such a big time warp and something breaks horribly, we're going to quick save. I'm going to go up to the apoapsis over here. The only thing that might be screwy is if we accidentally run into the moon a second time on our way back. Yeah, we actually did slingshot. I'm sure it's going to be a slowdown. Because I thought coming in from the other side would have been a slingshot. I don't know. Alright, kill that. Go retrograde. So burning at apoapsis, you always burn opposite of the thing you want to change the most. And since this one is already so low, ideally we'd want to take this lower. And the further out you are, the more dramatic the change happens from the other side. So the combination of being in the apoapsis is the best of both worlds, because being so far out, a little bit of fuel makes a big change on the other side, and it's already so low. Depends on what you're doing, but yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do that. This is just with one tick of shift. Yeah, the periapsis is dropping pretty damn fast. I mean, it's still in millions of meters, but we're gonna have tons of fuel left. Although, the closer it gets, the more fuel it will take to make the little changes here. Sort of think about it like a percentage change. So we're dropping below 1 million meters. We're now in kilometers. So we want to bring it... For this, we're going to want to maybe do something like 30, maybe 35, for a more gentle re-entry. Because we're actually going to be going faster. Since we're coming from so far out, we will be entering the atmosphere quite a bit faster than we were when we were doing a simple orbit. Because it's a big orbit. I'm going to call it... Whoops. A little bit more than that. If I really want to fine-tune, I'm going to take my engine, I'm going to bring the thrust limiter down. That way I can do a little bit more of a fine maneuver. Because even with one tap of shift, that went really fast. There's a trick. You can hold control, which is your decelerate, and then just tap shift, and it'll go and then stop. Go and then stop. So I'm just slowly raising my peri. 32. Good. So that's where we'll enter the atmosphere. That's the low point of our thing. And at that point, we should be hitting more than enough thick air to stop us completely. Hopefully. Okay. Quick save. We still have lots of noms. Well over a year of noms. In fact, we'll have well over a year of noms before we land again. So we're good there. Assuming we don't hit the moon again. Now, we're not going to hit the moon on this orbit. I don't know how quickly the moon orbits in here. I think it's a lot faster than every 28 days. Because our orbital period is 17 days, so presumably we'll go from here to here in like 8, right? Or 9? 8.5, whatever. No, we're good. And, well, see, I hate it when it, like, stalls out like that. When I'm, like, worried about overshooting with my physics. You don't want to enter the atmosphere at, like, 1,000 times time warp. Because even though it does de-time warp you when you enter the atmosphere, what I've had happen with the ship like this is you're going so fast, it sort of does one update here, and the next physics tick you're over here, and it doesn't recognize that you're supposed to hit the atmosphere in between. So it will recognize, like a time warp will know that you've hit the atmosphere. You can't skip the atmosphere by time warping. But if you time warp too fast, like 10,000 times or something like that, then it can actually go from here to here, just teleporting from one to the other effectively. Limits of the computer. But this should be more than fine. We still had over 1,000 delta V. Had lots of room to correct any issues. I probably could have burned from the peri and not taken this big giant loop. But we had the noms. May as well give the what's his name? Hold on. The Everix. May as well give the Everix, you know, proper flight. Whoops, I'm burning instead of time warping. We're okay. Now, since I have all this extra fuel, one thing you can do to slow your re-entry is this. If I burn retrograde right now, obviously I'm slowing down my orbit, so I'll hit the atmosphere with less speed. But it will also drop my peri, which you don't want to do. But if you also burn radially, I'm pointing based on what makes sense on the screen. Burning radially means burning from in this direction, so outwards, whoosh, like that. Then I'm sort of raising the orbit by reorienting. So if you burn somewhere in between... Oh, turn that off. If you burn somewhere in between retrograde and radial. Radial is this one, the arrow's going out. And retrograde is right over there. You can sort of balance, or you could alternate between the two, I suppose. But you can balance between slowing down, which is good to get less speed on your re-entry, but also drops your peri, with raising your peri here. So if we do this, okay, not full, and then just manually, actually let me rotate, it'll be a lot easier. Can I use W and E? Pretty good right now. So now I want to go a little closer to the retrograde to drop the peri. A little closer. There you go. Peri is slowly going down. But my orbital speed is going up. Oh, orbital speed is going up because the closer I get to the planet, I'm speeding up. Which makes total sense. I'll be at my maximum speed at my periapsis and just zoom by the planet, so let's not worry about that. But I am burning off overall more stuff than I would. So the peri is dropping right now, but very slowly because I'm closer to the retro side. So if I go a little bit closer to the radial side, my peri will start to grow again. Again, you keep sort of like jiggling back and forth between these 2 points. I'm going to accelerate a little bit more. Actually, I can go full throttle. I'm still only at 15% on this engine. It's actually going to take me 7 minutes to burn my fuel at this point. So let's go ahead and max this out. So we'll burn off a little bit of extra. I mean, we're not doing anything else with the fuel. There we go. So now we're more dramatically shrinking our orbit. But we were nicely balanced with peri. Peri is going down a little. And that'll become more dramatic the longer this goes. So what I want to do is just tweak a little closer to radial. Now it's going up a bit. And you can see now the peri is going to swing up or down much, much, much more quickly. But we're in pretty sweet spot right here. Once our periapsis stays right around where it is. Okay, it's dropping a bit, so I want to go a little bit more radial. Yeah, now it's really hard to not have it swing crazy one way or another. In fact, at this point, I'm almost in a normal Earth orbit now, so I could probably do something like target more like 25 kilometers, which is the sort of parry you'd calculate on re-entry from a normal boring orbit. Right? Right. And by boring orbit, I mean one that's less likely to kill you. Let's raise it up a bit more. Raise it up more. Without burning prograde, because burning prograde would speed me up. So I don't want to raise it by burning prograde. I want to raise it by... Effectively what you're doing is you're twisting your orbit. You're changing the shape of the orbit, or just changing like the center point. From here, it's acting like an axis. And you just sort of... Alright, I'm going to call that good enough. We'll leave the extra delta V just in case something goes terribly wrong. Well, we might want to raise it just a scooch more over here. And try to get up to about 25. Okay. I don't know why the camera just changed angles there. I think we're all right. Okay, is there any reason I can't detach this bit? I don't think so. I still have a couple of solar panels. I guess I'll leave it on for, you know, until right at the end. But let's go ahead and close all these doors. I don't think they're physics enabled. I don't think they have collision boxes, which means they don't actually factor into the aerodynamics in any way. But it looks stupid to re-enter with all that all that open. Toggle U. All right, everything seems to be put away. Our extra little solar panels are facing the sun. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and drop that out. Heat shield, good. I'll keep this orientation. We do have full charge though, so it's hardly a thing. We don't have, I'll turn off the SAS. We're going to do this. And just time warp until we actually enter. There, we have entered the atmosphere. So no matter what, we're going home in one way. I'm going to just tell it to stay pointing surface retrograde just to save me from having to click it, although this time we'll keep an eye on the electric charge. Looks like we are landing on the sunny side, though, and our solar panels are exposed, so it should have no problems maintaining that. And physics warp. I'll keep an eye on the electric charge just in case it starts to drop. That's the only reason we lost our last mission, is because I sort of took the hands-off approach and the electrical management wasn't great, because we didn't have any... we didn't have solar panels. We didn't have that technology at the time. Okay, I should turn on the ablator display over here. So you guys can monitor that. It is being eaten away a little bit, but not too much. And once we land, we are going to be doing the Dota 2 multiplayer. So subscribers especially should make sure they have it installed. But also other people who want to join in, we should have space for more people from the chat to move in. It'll depend on things. The subscribers will have first crack, but otherwise should be in there. We're doing 10v10. There'll be lots of room, lots of chaos. I'll get something. Maybe I'll steal one of a Kiss for Lux beers. I haven't had a beer in weeks because of the just the low carb food plan that I'm doing, which is working very well right now. But it might be a beer day. Then I'll have to go out and get her a replacement beer. But I don't think she'll mind if I get another box of beer in the house. So the ablator is being ablated away, but that's doing its job. We are bleeding off some speed. You can see even the apoapsis. Even if we were to make it through this entire atmosphere without landing, well, it wouldn't happen. Can't happen. Our apoapsis is within the atmosphere now. So no matter what happens, we're clearly in. Well, and our periapsis is negative, so no matter what happens, we're touching the ground in one fashion, in one way or another. Ablator is still burning away, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. Power is still good. And we're hitting very soupy air very soon now. The surface speed is going to drop off like crazy. It also means that for the next few seconds, maybe half a minute, we're going to be hitting some of the worst of the heat as we hit the thickest of the air and bleed off the most speed the quickest. But the ablator is actually doing fine, and in fact, being below 1,500 meters per second, we seem to have recovered here, although I'm still waiting for another one of those random and unexpected explosions to hit us. This game does not include a random chance of equipment failure by default, but I am running a mod that introduces that. Something called Dang It. It's got a random chance of a piece of equipment just randomly failing. And I had it happen once in my testing. So I'm actually surprised it didn't happen here. Surprised and thankful. Hey, we can do a temperature scan. I must have accidentally transmitted that temperature scan. So that actually cost me 12 science. Well, 6 science because I got another temperature scan here and a crew report. Nope. I had one for a second there. May have been flying over mountains or something. Alright. Blader's not going to blade anything anymore. We are done. Just going to wait for our speed to drop. So, yeah, I'm not going to take any risks. I was going to say, I wonder what happens if I just open one parachute right now. FAR did change some of the way the physics worked, but we're still going really fast. We're not time warping? Nope. And we're still getting like some Mach effects and stuff over here, which look very nice and feathery. We're at 400 meters per second and losing more speed. We're in the thickest part of the atmosphere now. 350. So once we hit about 250, we do have mountains here though. This is not distance above the ground, that's distance above sea level. Alright, I'm going to open one. It was a little early, but I think it's going to be fine. And that's going to help slow us down to 250, more or less. There we go. Now we're definitely safe. We'll pop out the rest. And yeah, we actually don't have that much room before we're 1 kilometer above the surface. There you go. We're almost 2 kilometers above sea level when we're only 1 kilometer above the surface. But they're all opened up. That was a very shocking G-force for a moment there. The Everix must have been pretty whiplashed, but now we're okay. We're slowly descending at 4.4 meters per second. I will quick save and then physics warp to drop the rest of it. Woohoo! Long flight. Man, my throat is dead. Still got those nice dents from the glasses. Look at that. That's good. Oh, I'll need a different hat for the Dotas. Unless I played engineer. That could happen. And we'll just keep wearing these. Where's my shadow? There it is. Okay, we're nearly there. And we're bringing home a lot of science. And the Everix will be greeted as a hero, our very last pilot. Killed what, 3 pilots? 2? 3? Yeah? Yeah, I think so. Whoop! Almost toppled over. Steady, steady. There we are. Recover the vessel! No, I don't have any information about when Hearts of Iron 4 is coming out. When they announce a date will probably be when I know. Most case scenario, I may know a day ahead of time, but it'd probably be embargoed. So, nothing. The Everix, what did you get? Mission Time Ribbon, awarded for more than 20 Kerbal days spent in missions. Mach 4 Ribbon, flew at Mach 4, below 30,000 in Kerbal atmosphere. That was our re-entry there, most likely. Research 5, he's researched 200 or more science points. In fact, we got, I was going to say only 55 science. It's because we transmitted some. In fact, we transmitted a few that we shouldn't have. We actually transmitted a lot of the materials gathered. We actually effed up. We probably lost a lot more science from that right-clicking on the antenna there. I stopped it right away, though, so that was really weird. Did it trash a bunch? I don't know. We've got like 300 science, though. We've got lots of science, which is going to be enough for us to get to a moon landing next time around. But Moon Sphere of Influence ribbon, Kerbal Orbit ribbon. Oh, for orbiting around Kerbal, which you hadn't done before. And there we go. And that also completed some contracts. Ooh, position a satellite in specific orbit of the moon. Lots of money, and these satellites, they're very lightweight, so it actually would be a really cheap flight for us to do. I'm going to take that. And how much money do we have? We can get patch conics, which we're going to do. We're not going to have enough for maneuver nodes. We do actually. I'm going to want to design my satellite mission before I spend money on that, just in case I don't have the cash, but I think we should be okay. And with the satellite, what we're going to probably want to do, there's the universal storage for the magnet. Docking clamps. Any other science here? No. What do we have under space exploration? Universal storage. Oh, the pressure thing. Yeah, so we've never been able to do any barometric pressure science, which we are definitely going to want. So that's almost certainly what we're going to want to unlock next, because... or the fuel. Well, we'll get the fuel systems, and then this, which is going to unlock some more science. So you unlock more science so that you can unlock more science. So you can unlock more science. Might be nice to have the universal boom. Nothing else here is particularly critical, though. More aerodynamics actually gets us propellers and stuff, but nothing else we critically need. Oh, landing gears! We're going to need that if we want to land on the moon, or Minmus. More than these tiny engines, and more than the 2.5 meter engines. We're going to want landing gear. So let's unlock that. That'll get us well set up for next time, which I might continue just on YouTube, or there might be more streams. I don't know what's going to be going on next week yet. We'll figure it out. So, first of all, anyone who is only here for Kerbal, thank you very much for stopping by.